Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's wet rendition of the Repcast. I'm your host, Lucian Barrows, and the bot thing to my left is Lo444, and I've just learned to like cannibalism. Hi. Sup?
Man, quit looking at me longingly like that.
No, it's not. That's not a longingly stare. That's a I'm hungry stare.
I know, longingly, hungrily stare, whichever.
Better than the 1,000-yard stare, I guess.
Yeah, really.
Hi, peeps. We're back again. Sorry.
We're back. We try and beat our way into your brains on a regular basis, because
Unfortunately, we just turned into dust.
Yeah.
Whoops. I shall not apologize for being the way that I am. It's fun being me.
It is. And fun being
If
me.
you were me, you'd agree. Okay, that's a lie. Nobody else would enjoy being me but me. So, what can I say?
I don't know. I have a lot of people at work that enjoy watching me be me.
Well, no, it's one thing to be able to enjoy watching someone be themselves, but being that person is a little different, because then you just be me, so you wouldn't be you being me anymore. You'd be me, and then I'd be me, and then we got a paradox. And then somebody has to die to sort it all out.
Kind of like Loop.
Yeah. Anyway, that sort of stupid science craziness aside.
But it's fun.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into more later too. That's
Absolutely.
What we do. Anyway, that aside, honestly, I don't have a lot in the way of entertainment. I really don't have anything in the way of normal entertainment news. I have some things I want to talk about for that I'm trying to work on for Week Rogue. Okay, so I know we've been talking about it off and on a lot for the past year or so now. Probably about a year and a half now, I think, we really started the podcast.
Yeah.
So about a year and a half now that I've been talking about the idea of doing Let's Play streams and all that stuff. I've just never had the money to get the stuff I need. I need to get a screen capture program to actually do Let's Plays and all that. As far as streaming, like Minecraft, the great thing about that is we're in like the 1.7.10 version. I think it was in 1.6.4 that Mojang, the company that makes Minecraft, actually introduced the ability to just live stream through the game itself to Twitch. It's actually a functionality in the base game now, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Because a lot of people like to stream Minecraft, so.
Yeah, I just did. What? That's pretty cool.
It is.
I mean, that is like really cool.
Yeah. So I figured, it'd be nice to do some live streams when I have time and get some Let's Plays. Hopefully, if at all applicable, be able to get like maybe on some weekends you and I can do some recordings.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
like that. We can put some out there. Could be fun.
Oh.
I mean, that's going to consist of us like recording probably like several hours in one go. But that part's plugged in.
Yeah.
Just a second here. Technical difficulties. If we had a screen with technical difficulties, it would pop up.
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
But guess what?
Anyway, so there's a program I want to get my hands on. I think I've been offered an opportunity to choose a Christmas present for my friend. I think I'm going to ask for the Fraps recording software so that I can finally have that, so that I can finally start recording some Let's Plays. Hopefully with you and number 4 in our own personal coffee's hitting me. In our own personal Minecraft mod pack that I am working on creating right now, which is the next big thing. Is right now I'm working on creating a Minecraft mod pack. It's not the first time, but this one. Okay, for mod packs in Minecraft nowadays, there's a few things to them, and it depends on what launcher you're using on how you have to do things. There's like 3 different major launchers out there. We've got the AT launcher, the FTB launcher, and the Technic launcher. That's what it's
Oh.
called.
I know that you guys actually switched to a different launcher.
Yeah, we used the FTB one for a while, but there wasn't any real interesting packs on there for the time being when we wanted to restart a server at one point. Like, we'd closed down the server for a while because it was just me and number 4 on it for the longest time.
Right.
And we started playing World of Warcraft again for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I gave up my account because nobody else was playing anymore because some people were having money troubles and couldn't afford it at the time. And then, you know, I had to choose whether I wanted a data service plan on my tablet or whether I wanted to keep World of Warcraft. Since nobody was playing, I decided to go with the data plan.
Smart man.
As soon as I got that, the new expansion for World of Warcraft came out and people started playing again. Can't fucking win here.
Isn't that how it goes, though?
Absolutely. So, that aside, me and number 4 eventually, you know, picked up on Minecraft again. We were only gone for a couple months, and even then I still played it with it occasionally in single player. So, but when we came back, you know, the FTB launcher, which for those of you who don't know, it stands for Feed the Beast. It's I'll go into that later. But the FTB launcher didn't have anything really new and interesting that we really liked, and it's like, okay, that's alright. And then I started surfing through the AT launcher to see if they had anything in there, and found something up for 1.7, or found a pack up for 1.7.10 that had a lot of mods that I liked in it, and some that I wanted to try out, some that just looked neat in general, and some that I just got rid of from the pack right away.
Right.
So, like, okay, cool, you know, we got this. It's called Mod Sauce Hermitcraft is the name of the pack. Hermitcraft is, I think it's a popular server out there. I don't know. I don't keep track of both Minecraft servers, unfortunately. But it's basically a mod pack for that, I do believe. So we opted out for that. Then heavily modified it. The thing is, number 4 and I, we've been wanting to get people back on our server again. But the problem is, if we're going to heavily modify a mod pack, it makes it more difficult for other people to get in there. With me and number 4, we run the server together. He pays for it, and I do most of the running of it and
Right.
and fixing of it and all that, and sometimes the breaking of it, depending on what mods I add.
Right. That's how it goes when you're an admin.
Yep.
I understand this.
So that'll happen. But yeah, so but with all those additions and subtractions of the mods that we put in, taking out all that stuff, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Since number 4 and I, we have access to the FTP software for our server. If, like, usually I'll put the mods in, and I'll fix the server up and get it ready to go. Number 4 just usually has to, you know, download the initial pack that we're going to use, and then pretty much just delete the mods from there, and then throw whatever's in the FTP files into his actual launcher files, and then he's got everything he needs right there. So that makes it pretty easy for him and for me, because I'm the one, you know, doing it all initially in the first place. But when other people want to join, you know, it's like, well, okay, they have to make sure that they have to go out, download the proper mods, and they have to actually make sure you have the right version of it that runs on the server and all that. And then you got to find a way to get them all the config files to match up to everything, because you might have changed something with the configs. And so it gets a little, I'm sure it'd get a little irritating for other people. I mean, it's, what the hell is making noise?
I have no idea.
Damn you. But,
Really, I have no idea.
right. Anyway, so, you know, we've done it before like that, but it's like, you know, we only, at that time, we're adding in like a couple of mods here and there, depending. So we never modified it too much, but this time we've just kind of gone full blown and turned what was already a pack into something of our own. So,
why not?
right.
I mean, that's kind of, from what I gather from the whole idea of Minecraft, that's what it's meant to be anyway, is that you kind of get going on things, and then it's like, okay, I'm comfortable enough, I'm going to build something of my own now.
Pretty much. And it's basically the same way with mods and mod packs on there, is once you get comfortable enough with toying with mods and, you know, adding them, removing them from your client-side stuff or your server or whatever, then you get comfortable enough to think, hey, You know what? I do this enough. This server's full of all kinds of different mods. I could make this myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have before. I made a private pack for our server. Private pack is it's pretty much specifically made for your server. There's no you're not supposed to distribute it to anybody that's not going to be on your server or anything like
Right.
that. Like FTB, the FTB launcher, they have a code system that you can put into, like when you make the private mod pack, you make the code you want, and then you give the code to people that are going to be on your server so that they can type it in on the launcher and get the pack themselves. And the base idea is you tell them don't distribute the code. If they do, I can't stop them, but it's whatever,
Yeah, there's ways around that.
Yeah, but it's not a big concern.
Right, no.
But, unless it actually comes back to bite me in the ass because, like, a modder found out that, and it wasn't supposed to have. Basically, it's just because sometimes modders are a little bit anal. Which is where I'm having some problems right now because I'm working on creating a new mod pack. But the difference is because I want people to be able to either, play exactly what we're playing or maybe even follow along. I know there's some popular YouTubers that do Let's Plays. They, it's usually for single player, but they do world downloads.
Right.
After they get so far in the world, they, do a whole download for it and put it up for other people who can download it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is fine. So, if we get popular enough where people want to follow along exactly how we're doing things and they want, a copy of our world to do things, then, we can start putting those up too. But that makes it a little bit more difficult if the pack isn't public.
Right.
So, the plan is, and I'm going to, it may cause some major tweaking though for some things, but the plan is to make our new pack a public pack instead of a private pack. So it'll be the Weak Rogue pack. I don't know what we're naming exactly, but that's the plan. We want to make a public pack so that people can actually find it, utilize it, play along with us, kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
Join our server if we accept them. We're going to keep a whitelist, but we have there's only 2 of us on there. We'll save a slot for you and probably a couple other people that we know. So that leaves maybe about 35 slots on our server for people to join in. So
cool.
So yeah. But, trying to do it public leads to new problems.
Oh, yeah.
Most mod developers are fine with private packs, and that's all well and good. That makes getting permissions easier because it's mostly a courtesy thing in that, and if you're working with an actual mod pack launcher, they prefer you to have permissions for mods that you're putting into a pack. It
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that bitch and gripe about modders needing permission, blah blah. It's like, what, this is a mod. You guys don't even technically have permission to mod the game that you modded. It's just and they're technically not supposed to, but Mojang doesn't give a shit.
Right.
So because Mojang has taken several ideas from the modding community and different mods and added it into the base game.
Right.
So
that's what I thought. I'm like, well.
Plus, the modding community is one of the things that probably helped, really bring Minecraft up to where it's at.
Yeah.
In general, in popularity and all that. So yeah, so I don't really complain. I get it. Some people want permission, some people don't. That's fine. The FTB crew that works with the launcher and all the other mod packs on there, they have a nice permission spreadsheet that you can go over, and then when you send them all the information for your mod pack, you just have to list, if the mod's on the spreadsheet, you just put spreadsheet next to the mod, and there you go. It's makes it easy. Most of the mods that are in the pack are on the spreadsheet.
Really?
Yeah, there's
that's helpful.
Technically speaking, I think we're up to 188 mods, which isn't bad. That's a little above average for a pack, but I love mods and I'm greedy about that stuff. I want what I like. But there's still we still have 10 mods that I think it's around 10 that I have to get permissions for. Some I'm not sure about just because it's not technically on the spreadsheet, but a version of it is. There's a mod called Applied Energistics. Well, for 1.7.10, the mod was recreated into Applied Energistics 2. the original applied energistics is listed on the spreadsheet. I just don't know if it technically classifies for number 2 as well. So I've got to get into contact with somebody from FTB and find that out for sure. But there's other mods out there that aren't on the spreadsheet, but if you go to the actual mod page, they'll say, oh hey, you're free to do, you're free to put in whatever pack. All you got to do is take a snapshot of that and put a link to where you can save the snapshot online and send that with your mod list and all that. So not a problem. Done that before. Then there's some that get confusing and overbearing. There's a mod called Mistcraft.
Okay.
That great mod. It basically allows you to travel to different dimensions and basically create your own dimension to go to.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It it has a lot of modifiers that allows you to really be pretty nitpicky about how you want it to be, down to the grass color can be red, kind of thing. It's pretty in depth, and I like it. I love the mod. I've used it for a long time, since I think I've used it since 1.2.5. I think. I think that's about right. And it's a great mod, but the problem is it used to be easier to get permission for it, but apparently at some point in time the mod developer decided to change his mind and make it where he wants all kinds of details about your mod pack and blah blah this, blah blah that. Basically, it'd be like submitting the mod pack twice, which is annoying.
Why?
Because he can, pretty much. He seems like an alright guy, but when you start going to that depth just to get this mod and mod pack, when there's, for the most part, people use the Mistcraft mod to pretty much build a mining world, so that people on a server can go and have a world that they can tear up with machines like quarries and auto miners and things like that.
Oh, nice.
That would usually ruin the terrain, but that way they don't have to ruin the overworld at all. They can just ruin some other world that nobody's actually gonna build a base in or anything like that. It's just there to tear apart pretty much with all your machines. So
interesting.
So the way I see it is, and for the most part, that's what number 4 and I use that mod for anyway. That, or you can occasionally, build an age that has, it's basically one small island or just a little platform, and everything else is just all lava blocks. Great for powering things when you're using lava as a power source. Same for oil, things like that. So, and there's all sorts of coolness to that too. It's like, it's just in the long run, for the most part, we still only use it for just a place to go and put our mining machines in to do mass damage to the world and gather resources. So it's not worth it, because I know another mod that I can put in there that's open to mod packs, and I can just use that instead. It adds one dimension, and it's meant to be mined in. That's all it's there for. So it just makes it a lot simpler, instead of having to go through and nitpick every little thing to make a perfect mining age and all that stuff and hope that it works, because sometimes you might overdo it and then the age might come out as something you don't like.
Right.
With Mistcraft. So, but with this other one, it's just a set dimension in a certain way. So as soon as you generate it, it's there, the ores are there. You just need to set up a quarry and you're good. So it's a lot simpler of a mod to use, and it's open for mod packs, and I don't have to submit a mod pack twice to get it. And then you got like stuff like the AT launcher. I was thinking about running the pack through there.
Yeah.
Because they seem to have more packs that have more obscure mods than what FTB does. So like, okay, I'll go with that. The only problem is there's a lot to having to submit it to the AT launcher too for a public pack. You have to have a website of sorts with links to the mods, all sorts of things like that. Then you need to get permissions and everything all over. And
I think we can swing a page
probably,
on our site for that.
But even then, it's not guaranteed that they'll actually go with it.
With
the FTB launcher,
yeah.
if we make a public pack on there, it probably won't be a listed public pack. It'll be an unlisted one that people will still need to put in a code to find. But I can distribute that code freely if it's a public pack. But more than likely it'll be unlisted because it may not be much more different than what most other packs are, and they won't put it as a listed pack unless it has enough difference to it to make it worth putting on the launcher. So there's a lot of stupid complications to it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm like, now wait a minute.
And I don't want to bash anybody here, but it's like there's mod packs on there. On like the FTV launcher, there's 2 or 3 mod packs on there where it's like that's practically the same thing, that's practically the same thing, that's practically the same thing, with maybe 1 or 2 mods that are different than the other pack.
See,
like it's otherwise the same thing.
See, the modding community, in my opinion, should be a lot more like how the open source community is. Okay, so like say if I get like OpenOffice or even Ubuntu, okay, or some flavor of Linux, right? I can take that copy and I can build computers up the wazoo, put it on there, and
Well, the good thing about the
and
modding
they don't
community,
care.
The good thing about the modding community for Minecraft is it is maturing now. There was a year or 2 ago, up to maybe, I think it was like up until about a year ago. There's always been all sorts of guff with the modding community. Some people just being really anal retentive about trying to keep their code and all that shit, and some people still are, but there's also a lot of people out there now that have gone from I want to keep this private to whatever, let's open it up.
Yeah.
Like even the source code, it's like they go open source, and it's like there you go, have fun. So.
Well, and that's just it, even if they don't do open source, they can still do a version of freeware where it would be under public or general public license.
Yeah, no, there are plenty of people that use the GNL for mods.
And it's like I like it. I like the GNL for that purpose,
Yeah. And there's plenty of people that use that process out there for modding. But again, there's still people that are really anal about it. There's one big modder named Elaram. I hate to point her out, but she made a great mod called Red Power. Red Power 2 was more popular, still made it, but whatever. But she was one of those people that was really anal about anybody seeing her coding. And I get it to some degree, but it made it to where she actually became quite hated by the community.
Really?
Because of how she acted with it. She made a great mod. It was fun. There's a lot to it. There were some things that still haven't been properly, remade by other mods, but when it comes down to it, she caused a lot of problems in the community.
See, to me, if somebody doesn't want to show me show me their code, that's fine. That's their prerogative. But if they're gonna say, "Oh, yeah, but you can't use it," it's like, okay, well then why are you saying why are you saying you're a part of the modding community if you're not gonna put a mod out that you've built? I don't care if you show me the code or not. Because, I'll be honest, I don't care if I ever see the code for Ubuntu, even though I know I probably could.
Right.
I don't care if I ever see the code for OpenOffice or LibreOffice or whatever, as long as I can have access to them.
I think you're misunderstanding. She put the mod out there. People could play with it. She just didn't put the code out there. She wouldn't even let anybody else help her work on it, which became a problem. Because...
Ooh.
Yeah, it became a problem because she has a full-time job, but she always wanted to keep making a mod. She also wanted to make her own game, and she wanted to... she wanted the community's support, but she never really fulfilled anything to the community. It's... because she'd make the mod for a new version, the game, you know, but it's like eventually she just like there was one point in time she was going strong as part of the modding community for quite some time, and then she made promises about updating to I think it was 164 at one point. No, I think it was 152. She updated to 147, was going to update to 152 for the game and all that, and then just disappeared without a word to anybody. She was just gone. Oh. She disappeared off the radar in the Minecraft modding community. It is now known as doing an LRM. She just disappear like that for no reason.
Wow.
Now, after 1.7.10 came out and everything was set up to where mods could start working with 1.7.10, she finally came back. It had been a year, but she finally came back and said, alright, I'm remaking things from the ground up and blah, blah, blah. We're going to put out Red Power 3, and it's going to be great. Okay, people got excited. Other people got pissed because she was trying to, reappear and make promises again. And I was indifferent. Didn't know how things were going to go down.
Right.
She started up a Patreon account and started getting support through that because, she said that if people help, if people help money-wise through Patreon, she can take time off of work and actually put, some real work into the mod. And it's like, that's
understandable.
Yeah, it's like that's a decent idea, I can understand that. And then she totally fucked everybody over. She took the money that she got from Patreon for about a month or two, and then just said, "Never mind."
No.
And changed her mind from it going to her taking, take time off with that money to now I'm just going to put this into supporting my game that I'm trying to build. That's exactly like Minecraft, basically. So she hit the last straw there, and I don't think she's ever going to be trusted within the Minecraft community ever again.
Wow.
She fucked up.
That is actually really sad.
It is.
And I've actually wondered that, if how many people actually do that on Patreon.
And I'm sure there's plenty of them that do that kind of thing, unfortunately.
like I've not looked much at it, but it's like, is there an actual recourse that people can take, for that?
I'm sure there's got to be somewhere. There's got to be some sort of policy that protects that stuff.
Because it's like we're business owners, and it's like in my mind, I go, if I did that to you guys, I'm sure I would see a class action.
Right.
And rightly so. I should see a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, after I read that, it's like, wow, I did not see that coming. And
that's crazy, dude.
And then there's some people that are still like retardedly protective over their mods. Yeah, there's a mod out there called Mo Creatures.
Yeah.
It adds a bunch of different types of, real animals and some, mystical animals into the game and things like that. And it's a great mod. Some of the models for some of the creatures are amazingly done. In fact, the modder, Dr. Zark, when Mojang decided to actually add horses to the baseline game, Dr. Zark actually got to work with them and help them put together the models and the coding for them, because he already had that in his mod since, I think 1.2.5, he already had horses.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it took them until 1.5.2 to actually put horses to 1.5 technically, to put horses into the baseline game. So he got to go in and actually work with them and, make the horses for the game, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do that for, I think it's 1.8, they're adding rabbits.
Serious?
Yeah, which is cool. I like the fact that they're adding more animals to the game.
Oh, I do too. I'm like, really? I don't know. That's just something that you don't see in a game.
Right.
That's not my first thought. I don't just go, oh, hey, there's a rabbit, or hey, there's a squirrel. It's like, I see a horse. I see a pig. I see, whatever.
But But Dr. Zark, though, he is probably the most protective modder over his stuff. Now, like with Elram, I understand hers to some degree. Within the Red Power mod, she also had created her own operating system to run on the computers that the mod added. So she had created a whole new operating system just for that mod. So like, I give her credit for that, most definitely, where it is due. And I can understand, to at least a degree, why she was protective over her code. Because that kind of thing could essentially make her real money.
Yeah.
Instead of Minecraft modding money, where it's
right,
like you
right.
get a few dollars a month from AdFly.
Now, I think I may have seen this mod on YouTube. It looked a lot like DOS, right?
That's probably from Computercraft, if it looks like that. But oh no, wait, no, maybe it did. It does. LRAM's computers from Red Power does resemble DOS, generally speaking. But
so she may have figured out how to take a rudimentary Linux kernel and...
It's possible. I don't know. I didn't go into it very much. All I know is that she apparently created it all on her own. So it's like, I can understand that.
I'm fascinated. I might do a little research if I feel frothy.
Yeah. But yeah, Dr. Zark, he's been really anal about it. Like, again, I get not wanting to share your code. That's fine. But he's like the only person anymore in the modding community, short of one mod right now that has been made by one guy, only because he says it's, this mod is still in testing phases, so he doesn't want it to be in mod packs officially, because he doesn't want it to cause any problems.
Right.
Which is fine. I can go with that, but Dr. Zark won't let Mo Creatures be in a mod pack at all. Not even a private pack. He does not want it redistributed at all whatsoever. It's like,
why?
Right. And right now, he's got a Patreon, too.
What's the point?
No, I know, right? Because there's when it comes down to it, most of the modding community anymore uses mod packs from FTB, AT, and Technic. And if you're not going to allow that, there's some people out there that won't change mod packs at all. They won't add anything new. They won't take anything away. So if you're not going to be willing to add that, or let that be added to a mod pack, some people will probably just never touch it.
Yep.
So, like, if I never took the time to actually learn how to add and remove mods to the game, or from the game, or to and from servers or anything like that, then I would have never touched it.
Oh, yeah.
It's an interesting mod. It has some cool stuff, different creatures that you can farm, breed, mount even. They have elephants in there that you can ride.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that's pretty cool. I would not mind having an elephant as a mount and walking around Minecraft and that. But, am I going to add it to my server? No. Because I just don't feel like it's necessary at this point. Like, why bother?
Right.
I mean, especially at this point, like, one of the main reasons why a lot of people liked Mo Creatures is because it added horses.
Right.
It added a creature that you could actually mount and control. Like, for the longest time, you've been able to mount pigs, throw a saddle on them, and ride them, but you never really had any control over them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have carrot on a stick, so you can kind of control it, but it still goes a little out of whack sometimes.
Right.
Mo Creatures, horses, you could control absolute. Once you tame them, you could ride them and control them in any which way. And if they got hit by something, they wouldn't get all finicky and start randomly running in whatever direction like a pig would. So, it was good. However, that was probably the best part about it. And now, the vanilla Minecraft has replicated it. Mo Creatures has become more so irrelevant. They have wyverns in the mod now.
Yeah.
That you can get as a mount. It's like, well, that's all well and good, but there's other mods out there that add even cooler creatures that you can get as a mount.
True. Very true.
And we're going to be adding one to our mod pack too.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, there's one called Lycanite's Mobs. It adds a bunch of different fantasy-based mobs and things like that.
Oh, nice.
Some you can mount, some you can have as regular old pets that'll sit and wait, and some that you can have as like battle pets that'll follow you and
I
actually do
want
stuff for
a
you.
copper dragon.
No dragons. Sorry.
Damn it!
They have what's called I think it's pronounced Ugaraptor. It's basically a raptor, but with an actual beak. It's got teeth too, I guess, and actually has feathers, really very colorful rainbow-like feathers. It's a neat looking thing, and you can tame them and mount them, ride them around, and all that stuff. Like it's cool.
Fun.
And the designs for some of the designs and textures and meshes for the models for Lycanites mobs are like significantly better than Mo Creatures. There's other mods. There's other mods out there that have done what Mo Creatures has done, but did it better. There was one. Unfortunately, it hasn't been around since 147 because the guy's never gotten around to it again, despite promises that he would. But it's called Atmos mobs. I liked it better than I liked Mo Creatures because it added a lot of interesting different mobs to it that were real. You could find a seal somewhere. You could find it, and actually in that mod you could find a seal and you could use a seal as a mount.
Oh jeez.
Which is cool. They had whales. There was all sorts of other things there. It was cool. It's unfortunate it hasn't been around because I really liked it. It was a fun mod to play with. But I've got for Atmos mobs or Mo Creatures, I've got two mods that can practically outdo them. That's that we're adding to the pack. So we've got Lycanites mobs, which adds all sorts of mythical creatures and things like that, and stuff you'd expect to find in Pathfinder and D&D kind of stuff. Like they have a shambling mound in there. That's a creature from like Pathfinder. They have these really adorable large plant-like brontosaurus creatures in there. They're passive, nice creatures. So as soon as I can, and when we restart the server, I'm going to get one as a pet.
Nice.
You can't mount them, as far as I can tell, but they're still going to be cool to have. You can breed them, farm them for their food that they drop, and all that stuff. And I think even though they're huge, they're adorable. So I'm going to want those. But yeah, so it's
wow.
So for Mo Creatures or Atmos mobs, I've got two mods that do a great job making up for either of those, and then some. So and we've got another one called Project Zulu. It adds some mythological creatures to a degree, but also adds some real creatures. It adds stuff like rhinos. It adds its own elephants. It has gorillas. And all sorts of other things like that. Some of the models aren't as good as what I'd seen with the other two mods with Mo Creatures and Atmos and all that. Mm-hmm. Like one of the great things I loved about Atmos is the attention to detail it had. It added some insects into the game, like moth. If you were to
moth,
just something small and simple. No. But the coding behind it was probably amazing because the creator had it set up where if you actually set a torch down and a moth were to be nearby, there's a good chance that moth is going to start circling around the torch.
That is awesome.
It's the little details in some of these mods that make it worth it.
That is wow.
The guy's a good coder. I know when he had said that he was going to add more to the mod for the 1.5.2 version, he said it would take a while before he could get to it because he was finishing up stuff with school for that semester and all that, and he was going to work on it during the summer. He never got around to working on it again. Now, when that happens to a modder, I usually try my best to be understanding about it. Sometimes modding just gets old and you don't want to do it anymore. Sometimes stuff happens in real life and you can't do it anymore. That happens. There's some of my favorite mods out there. There was one from 147 called Cogs of the Machine. It's a clockwork style mod. It adds spinning cogs and gears and things like that that you use to power cog powered like crusher and things like that, and eventually you can work your way up to steam power with it. And I loved it. I thought it was a great mod. But after 147, the modder just pretty much disappeared off the face of the earth. What went on in his life? I don't know. Not my place to ask. But am I happy right now? Because yeah, I am, because he's back. He ported it to 1.7.10 and he's working on trying to add new content all over again. So the mod is back. I'm happy. It should be in the pack too, probably. It's a great for mod packs that have tech trees in them pretty much, it's a great start. It's a great early start mod that you can work your way up with because it has pretty early game ore processing, so you can double or even get lucky and maybe triple some of your ores and their outputs and all that. And you do it all with clockwork power. And the best resource for that is you get a few gears, strap them to the pounder, and then strap the other side to the pendulum, and you've got a pretty much free resource for power right there for that mod. So because the pendulum just keeps going.
Nice.
So now, granted, it's not powerful and things will go slow, but it's still an early and good, efficient way to process your ores, and you work up through the tiers of the different cogs and all that, from wood to, I think there's stones and wood, iron, gold, and brass. So yeah, so I'm kind of that's the good thing about my pack, is I'm working it out to where people can start at a low tier and work their way up to the high tier stuff. We took out Galacticraft, which allows you to go into space, because
took it out. It
does get a little laggy, but we'll see. We might keep it in, depending on what else we have to tweak. Some of these mods that I still have to get permissions for, I may not be able to get permissions for, so we might remove some things that, unfortunately, most people usually would like to play with, but we might remove them, put in something different. And
because I know I was looking forward if I got my happy ass back on your guys' server, I was gonna try and build my own starship,
right,
and see if I could get it into Galacticraft,
which
or use it or whatever.
Right. And so, I've got to talk to number 4 about it, because, he owns the server, so it's technically a lot of... More than likely, though, he'll just come back to me and say, do whatever you want. That's what he always does.
Right.
So, but the fun thing about this mod pack, though, okay, I love to farm on Minecraft. For whatever ungodly reason, I don't know why, but I love setting up farms on Minecraft.
He has an electronic green thumb.
Right.
Okay.
And I love to set up automation for the farms, too, which is... with the Lycanite mobs, there's, mobs in there that you could, like, in the vanilla game, there's sheep that you can shear to get wool.
Mm-hmm.
In Lycanite's mob, there's a more mythical creature that you can shear to get wool. I just think they're a little bit cuter than the actual sheep in the game somehow, even though they're a little bit weirder. So I plan on having a very strange farm. The good thing, though,
You're that strange.
The great thing, though, about... that is, though, like, there's a mod I've always wanted to have on our server called Harvestcraft. It was an underappreciated mod for several versions. I found it in, like, 1.3.2. I discovered it and fell in love with it because of all the different things that it adds. Just different crops, food types. There's just hundreds upon hundreds of recipes in it for different food types and crops alone that you can grow. And I thought, that's awesome. There was some problems with the general world gen that it used to have, but it would generate plant bushes out in the wild and all that for like every single plant in the mod, which caused lag, bad lag. But Pam, the lady who makes the mod, she eventually fixed all that. Luckily, her mod actually finally started taking off and got some real popularity to it too. Which I'm happy for because it's a great mod and it deserved to get recognition for, all the work. For somebody who didn't know coding very well when she first went into making it, she did a great job with the mod. So,
well, that's usually how it goes too, is that you just start out little bit by little bit with what you know, and unfortunately with me, I wanted to get into modding of sorts years ago, and I could not figure out where to even start.
I'd love nothing more than to be able to have the know-how to start modding for Minecraft, but dear God, Java seems annoying.
It is.
So, I don't think I have the patience for it. I have ideas for mods, I just don't have the patience to learn Java to do it.
Well, I think I've explained where Java came from, right?
I think so.
Java, and you guys probably know too.
Probably.
Or some. Java is actually a derivative of another programming language. called C, and
Right.
what C does is like it's what like Linux is made in and stuff like that. You'll even find like a lot of your older DOS programs are strictly made in C, and compiled and whatever. And the idea behind Java though was that they were gonna take a C base and make it cross-platform.
Right.
So so now you have Oracle that put out Java years and years ago, and so a lot of people now who know C, they're the ones who get into Java because they look at it, they go, I recognize that command, or
right.
I recognize it somewhat, and then it's a little bit different of a syntax, and they figure out the difference, and they're, for the most part, okay with it.
I tried learning C years ago too.
Same
Didn't
here.
have the patience for that either. But
after Q Basic, I figured out why they called it Basic.
right. But one other mod that we're adding in, me and number 4, we kind of keep removing it from our last few servers because it was just us and we would never mess with it because it's just not our thing really.
Yeah.
And we removed computer craft because it just wasn't our thing. Well, since we're going to be opening this up to more of a public thing, we want more people to enjoy our pack, we are making sure that we have computer craft in there because a lot of people do love that mod.
Right.
I still have no clue how to use it for the most part because I don't understand Lua. I haven't taken the time to really look into it though, so maybe one day I might look into it and might try to create something. Otherwise, besides that, there's always just seeing what other people have made and using Pastebin because computer craft has a built-in function to paste in a Pastebin code and it'll instantly download the program from Pastebin. So it's like, well, that's good.
Interesting.
On our 147 server, I made us a clock tower and then used computer craft and a Pastebin code that I found on YouTube. Somebody made to actually make a clock.
Oh, nice.
So, and it was analog too, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. I was about to ask if it was analog.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're adding that. We're gonna have some fun stuff. Like basically, the way I have it set up is, and this is the way I plan on playing it too. We also have a mod called Magical Crops. Magical Crops allows you to basically grow resources, like iron and gold and diamonds and things like that. It takes a lot of time and effort to do it, especially if you don't do something like set up a quarry beforehand to get all the other resources to start making it where you can grow these things. So it will be a little difficult.
I got a mental image of you walking around with a hose and putting extra on your diamonds and on your gold.
I would not walk around with a hose. I'd automate a sprinkler system because you can.
Right.
Actually, from the way I'm making the pack right now, there's 2 mods that add sprinklers. There's the Cogs mod, and then there's one called Open Blocks.
Nice.
The Open Blocks one might be easier, but yeah. But basically, I want to be able to just set up a massive farm area. Eventually, have every crop in the game, just constantly getting farmed and all that, automated wise and all that, and use magical crops to actually get real resources like diamonds and emeralds and all sorts of things like that, including even down to experience points. So I want to be able to do that so that I don't have to go off and dig all that much. And maybe at the start, for the first couple of days, there's going to be a lot of mining and everything, but after that, I'm trying to do it where I don't need to use a quarry or anything. I'll just be building my resources that way. So it'd be nice.
That could be... I'd be interested in trying that.
That's
I really would.
That's going to be my challenge for myself at the very least, is just to have a massive farm. Because with some of the automated machines that you can do farming with, there is you can do upgrades that can increase the range of the farm and all that stuff and how big it is. So I intend on setting things up where I can make everything to its make every farming machine to its maximum size, and be able to get mass amount of resources that way. So, and just having everything have its own separate farm. Because again, for whatever reason, I just love farming on Minecraft. I love sitting there and being able to do it. It's it's somehow surprisingly fun. So, just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And now he's going to walk away and leave me alone for a moment.
For a moment.
Because this isn't going to be awkward at all.
Not at all. Hey, you know what? You can always go get your girlfriend and,
I'm saving that for after the camera's off.
Oh.
Gonna bone her good. Because skeleton. She's back here somewhere. I know, I've been rambling on about one thing again tonight. My bad. Let's see. Yeah, we've probably got about a half hour left of actual recording time, so after he gets back, we might finally put a stop to it and get to the news. But the idea, what I'm trying to say here is that we are going to be working on trying to bring out more YouTube content in the ways of Let's Plays and things like that. Hopefully around Christmas time I'll be able to get my hands on Fraps. By then the mod pack should be good to go. Once the mod pack is good and the server's up with it and everything, then I do intend to try to at least start doing live streaming, maybe get some recording in that way. I have to look. I think I can actually take things from Twitch somehow, I think, and be able to edit it, cut it down, and then maybe put it on YouTube. I have to look into it. I'm sure I can find a way. So, but I'll look into that when I have time sometime this week. And who knows? I'm talking. I'm not going to sit here and let dead air happen.
Oh.
It's rude. But no, I was talking about how, going back to the idea of...
Be rude.
I was going back to the idea of, wanting to do the live streams and all that stuff. So yeah, the plan is, well, like I was saying, I'm going to check Twitch and see if there's a way to, actually download videos from Twitch so that I can then, upload them to YouTube from that point and cut them up a bit, and do episodes. Because as much as some people would like some YouTubers to do longer videos of Minecraft, some people just don't. So if I can do everything right, I'm gonna do a bunch of recording for us, cut them up into half-hour increments and all that. More than likely, there will be a couple days where Load and myself, or Number 4 and myself, or all three of us even, may end up sitting down for an entire day and record 8 hours worth.
And if you want to join in, you can.
Absolutely. That's the fun thing, is we are going to be taking applications for the server when it's up and ready. We're going to have a whitelist, and we're going to have some very specific rules to it. You wouldn't be required to work with us, but you could if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. That's probably going to sound horrible coming over the microphone.
Feels so good.
See what I mean? God. This is what I had to deal with. Every week. Every other week. Somehow still every week. This is what I had to put up with. But yeah, so moving on. Hopefully we can get everything worked out this time and really get into it, and actually really get some people on the server. We've had people on the server before, but eventually it just all kind of died out. So who knows? We'll see what happens. And when we get the mod pack out, I'd like to keep it as updated as possible when I can, and hopefully without breaking things every time I update it. That'll be the hard part.
Things that can be interesting.
Yeah, it can also be really annoying. As a person who runs a server, having a mod pack update just to be broken is rather annoying. So
that's kind of like me being doing the administration for our server. It's that's why I normally go through updates with a fine-tooth comb, just because I know from experience that if I put in an update and it breaks my server, I'm going to be pissed as all get out.
Oh, I know the feeling, man.
And
There was one time that we updated the mod pack we're using from the AT launcher a few weeks ago. It's like, hey, cool, new version of this mod's on there and this mod's on there. I know they add some new stuff. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and update. Update. Broken. The fuck? Like, really? Really? Okay, fine. It was broken. Whatever. Shit happens. And, wow. And I went in to fix it manually on my own.
hey, partner.
Oh. He's late on the callback.
Hey, what's up?
But, you know, I fixed it manually, and then the next day they updated again to fix the problem.
Good job.
So, kind of was rather irritating to do that. So, but I didn't really have to update. Oh, no, I did. I did update again because of
that's right.
another mod was updated when we got to it. So it's all good. But yeah, there's a lot to the mod pack we want to do. I don't know if it's enough to warrant us a listed public pack on an FTB launcher, or even get us on the AT launcher at all, but who knows. I'm going to work different angles here. I'm going to finish trying to get the permissions, maybe by the end of the week if I can help it. And, yeah.
I had tons of other stuff too.
Well, actually, I was just about to get us to the other stuff. So.
And then I was going to talk about the stuff going on over in Germany.
And now he's on the phone doing the podcast.
The stuff where
phone
people
calls.
are trying to get the Muslims out.
Other than that, I don't really have. I'm like, I know I said saying like nothing, but there's a lot to it.
Company that,
but yeah, so that's future plans. As far as other entertainment from us goes, we did release our first thoughts video not that long ago. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend, if you're on our YouTube page watching this right now, or on our YouTube channel right now watching this, to go ahead and check out the thoughts video. It's something about a party. I find it funny, but I created it, so what can I say? We should be putting up another one shortly. Hopefully by the time this comes out, we should have another one out. And should be pretty interesting. So we have a few more things. We've got a few other things in mind to plan. We've got to reshoot one short altogether. It's kind of annoying, but we know what we did wrong in some of the scenes, so we know how to fix it. It's just somehow we lost part of one clip. I don't know how we did that, but it's us, so it's not that surprising. So,
Worked on that.
It's rather annoying. I wish you didn't answer the phone, but as far as news goes, I don't really have much in the way of news, and now he's walking out. This is wonderful. Okay, I've got one for you. I'm gonna pose a question to you. There was something I found late last night on the FTB subreddit. There was a guy on there complaining about being banned from the chat, like perma-banned from the chat room from a somewhat famous live streamer who does Minecraft stuff and all that. But the problem was that, and I'm pretty sure it was just a bot, like a moderator bot that banned the guy. But he had used he used the phrase "no homo" at the end of a sentence. By using the word "homo," he got a warning from the moderator, which again I believe was a bot, based on how quick he just said it worked. Anyway, so he gets a little frustrated and he says something about it on the chat, and then he gets another warning from the moderator. And then, you done? Okay. All right, well, come here, because I want your intake on this one too. And then we'll get to actual news, but because
Mom, Dad, hate food. Come on,
We will have to see. We've got probably like a half hour left. So, but you go do that, and then we'll see. So, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing.
This is how it goes, folks. This is how it goes.
I got a phone call and
Hold on,
I just asked Isaac and he asked no.
I don't know if I want to say at the time.
Oh.
So, because even if we did, we got like another half hour worth on the podcast. And he walked out again. I'm terribly sorry. This is hideously unprofessional at this point. And I got nothing. This is not going very well tonight as this happens.
Anyway.
Right.
Our partner wanted to have conversation with me.
Right.
I'm like,
We're in the middle of something.
I'm
This
like,
is, as I was saying, we apologize. This is just how shit happens sometimes.
it does.
Especially when we're trying to do something.
Oh yeah, you guys may or may not have any idea how that goes,
Yeah.
but
Probably shouldn't have actually answered the phone though.
well, probably not. But
I think that might have been mistake number one.
well,
Good. I mean, I can understand one, dude, because our partner, new partner. We need to
and
talk
not
about
only
stuff,
that, but I wanted to see if he was gone, if
Right.
he was on his way or what happened
which I
to
would
him.
hope not, because
Yeah, right.
Like,
Well, yeah, and
bad
that was
timing.
and that was it.
Yeah.
You know.
So
So, by the way, he apologized for not being able to come. He said he just literally got the text.
that happens
is-
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on. Sorry about that. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was talking by myself.
Sorry.
To the invisible people.
I
But,
am invisible people.
I wanted to run something by you. I found this stupid. Very stupid. So, late last night, after we all got home from Pathfinder or whatever, after you left, I hopped online and hopped on the FTB subreddit. And there was a post on there concerning the moderators, the chat moderators of a live streamer that live streams, Minecraft, and it's kind of part of the modding community in a sense.
Okay.
Apparently, this guy was in the chat on this guy's stream, and made a comment about how he loved watching said streamer, and then at the end of it put the phrase "no homo." Normally not a problem. However, the streamer, because I don't want to go too far into mentioning who it is, but the streamer is okay. One of his moderators gave the guy a warning because he said the word homo. This streamer keeps a very PG stream.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want people in there swearing and bashing people in his chat. And
That's fine.
And this wasn't bashing anybody, but it was a banned word that you're not supposed to use in there.
You know.
So the guy got a warning for using the word homo. I find that to be okay. The guy in chat takes offense to it and then continues to question why, and then I think uses the phrase homo again, and then gets in more trouble, and then eventually says more and using another word. I can't remember if he used gay or homo again. That got him permabanned. And he wasn't being mean. The guy was trying to he got a warning for it in the first place, and
Right.
he tried to explain the only reason why he used homo and gay after that is because he was trying to explain that it shouldn't be a problem. He is gay. He should be able to say this stuff on the chat. But when it comes down to it, he goes to the FTB subreddit after he got permabanned, which means permanently banned from the chat.
Right.
That account at least. He can go back on another account anytime he wants. Now, he's not complaining about the streamer, he's complaining about the mods that take care of the chat while the streamer is doing the live stream. So, fair enough, because it wasn't, the streamer that did anything, it was the mods. The thing is, though, is a lot of people, probably including the streamer, has mod bots that usually are set with a certain specific task, and if things happen, they're able to warn and warn again and ban people if that is how the modder has had it set. Now again, this streamer keeps a PG stream, so it makes sense that them having something like the word gay or homo in their mod bots vocabulary as something warnable or bannable makes sense, because more often than not on the internet, when you get the phrase gay or homo, it's usually somebody being a bigoted asshole.
Yep, it is actually.
So this guy that was in the chat takes extreme offense to this and posts about it on the FTP subreddit. First of all, not the right place to post it.
Nope.
So, and
wrong form.
Second of all, he goes in expecting downvotes and trying to, how to put it? He was basically trying to put himself on a pedestal, expecting people to downvote the comments and all that stuff that he makes. And it's like, okay, well, you get that often enough. This guy's already an idiot and full of himself and whatever.
Right.
And so he goes on to make his point. He, according to him, tried his best verbatim to put what he had commented on his post on the subreddit and all that, and then expected people's response. I don't know what he was expecting. It being Reddit, where people really like to nitpick things, and which is fine because this guy deserved it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But 9 out of 10 people that responded to anything during that post pretty much, in so many words, told him that he was at fault.
Yeah.
Not for being gay, but as soon as he got the first warning, he should have stopped saying anything that would have considered, that would have had been considered something that should not have been said on the stream.
Right.
And again, multiple people mentioned the idea of it being a mod bot, and that if he just talked to the streamer, just sent him a message, that it could probably be rectified, and he just has to be careful what he says. But him saying that he's gay or anything like that should not have anything to do with the streamer whatsoever.
Nope.
And it got ridiculous. I checked it again before I came over here, just to see how it went and see if anybody got through to him. And all this guy did, every time somebody said, just talk to the streamer. And just talk to him about it. Ask him to fix this.
That would have been my
And he probably will. Because the streamer is a nice guy. He's a good guy. So he'd probably rectify the situation in a heartbeat and just tell him, just be careful of what you say. I get it. You're gay. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Just don't go around blasting it out on my stream, because these mod bots will pick it up as whatever they think it is, because they can't discern the difference between you being gay and you insulting somebody with the word gay. That's all. But the guy always sat there and tried to defend himself and never once tried to actually rectify the situation.
Why?
Because he's a moron. Now, he said he was a lawyer, and I'm like, you know what? I actually accept that. Based on every comment that he left on somebody else's comment to him, it totally seems like he's a lawyer, because all he's doing is giving everybody else a runaround and evading the question. But multiple people sat there and told him, it's probably a bot. You shouldn't be offended. You should talk to the streamer. It should be able to get sorted out. Of course, every time somebody said that, it's, oh, well, I already said that the streamer is free of guilt on this one. It's not his fault. No, but you're still complaining about a robot. And the only way to fix this situation where you can enter chat on this guy's stream again is talking to the streamer and having him unban you. You're bitching without even trying to rectify the situation once. You are in the wrong. Not because you're gay, but because you're a moron. And if I get a chance, I'll show you a post later.
What's really funny about this to me is that he is arguing with a robot, with with a with a bot.
With a bot, with basically it's not even an AI. It's not intelligent.
No,
it's just a
it's
program
just,
that's written to to ditch people that start using certain words.
Yeah.
And if you use that, and apparently he could not comprehend the fact that it's just a program. There's a good chance that the streamer didn't even set up the settings for the program. He probably just picked a program, or picked a mod bot,
that
and a listing of like, look,
it's
set as a PG stream, so I'm going to set PG for this mod bot, and it's going to keep PG. If people start using the words homo, gay, or anything like that, or any other things that could be considered insults, slurs, or offensive, like the N-word or anything of those sorts,
right,
or calling somebody a bitch, all those things are going to get warned against or banned for.
right.
That's how it works. It's just a program with baseline settings. It does not understand sarcasm. It does not differentiate between you coming out of the closet and you or somebody else calling a person gay or fag or homo
Right.
or whatever. There's, like, I get it. There's gay people, but
Then
but this guy kept, he kept avoiding the fact that it might be a bot, and just getting more and more offended, overreacting more and more, and then eventually, when I checked this morning, his original statement in the post had been removed. Like, so all this evidence that he presented from his side of things was now no longer there, and he had pretty much been ripped apart. Now, granted, in a very civil manner. Surprising for Reddit sometimes, but in a very civil.
I was gonna say,
but
really?
because it wasn't even really an argument. People weren't insulting him or anything like that. Nobody was really downvoting him much either. It was a debate. People were debating him at every turn, and people were making more valid points than what he could. Yeah.
That actually tends to happen a lot.
Like, I get it. If it was a real person that was doing this to him, and they were doing it because he admitted to being gay, anything like that, that's horrible, that's hateful, but that's not what happened.
Right.
For as quick as the guy described it happening, it was a bot.
It was a bot.
This is just some asshole that wants to try to make a point and all that shit. And he's not doing a very good job. He's not. He's not representing anybody for shit, including himself.
It's sad. He's trying to fight a piece of code.
Yeah.
He's trying. He's trying to, backhand ones and zeros.
Yep. So, and again, it's like every time somebody hits a mod bot, he just evades the topic as much as possible. Or be even more offended because, why does a moderator bot, have words like gay or homo in there to, why are they blocked? Because people use them more often than not as an insult. People on the internet are assholes. I'm an asshole. He's an asshole. Guess what? We're on the internet. If you're watching this, it's because we're on the internet.
Yep.
We're assholes. We're assholes to an extent, though. We get not to use things like homo, gay, fag as an insult because, you know what? That kind of thing that's just rude. And it would be like me sitting here calling him the N-word. It's the same thing. It's just rude and uncalled for us to use. Yeah. It's not a good thing. I absolutely hate hearing people use the word fag or faggot. It pisses me off. It really does. I've had a couple of gay friends. They're good people. They don't deserve to be, tortured or tormented or teased or anything like that. Yeah. They're just people.
And yeah, you and I, you know what I believe in, whatever, but I'm with you.
Right.
I've known gay people throughout my life, and they're good people. It's not.
They're no different than a heterosexual.
Yeah.
I happen to be a guy that likes vaginas. There's girls that like penises. There's guys that like penises, and there's girls that like vaginas. We all like something sexual. We're normal people. We just have different likes.
I like vaginas.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Do you like coconut?
Not really.
I love coconut. Look, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as an analogy between two people that disagree on the like of coconut.
Actually, technicality. I like the taste of coconut. I hate the texture of coconut. Like, I love a pina colada. But if it actually has
Right.
The shavings in it, it's...
Well, let's look at it this way. Homosexuals, they like the taste of genitals. They just happen to like the taste of different genitals. Some people prefer the texture of a penis. Some people prefer the texture of a vagina. Example,
Oh,
I'm gay, he's straight, okay? I enjoy the texture of penis. He doesn't. It's a genital that sits in the pants all day long, and I'm going to guess roughly tastes the same in the long run when you sweat enough. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've only tasted vagina. But, for this analogy's sake, it could taste the same. For all I know, I don't. But, one of us could like the texture of a penis in our mouth, and the other could like the texture of a vagina in our mouth. Simple as that.
Man, these analogies really...
They're getting worse. They're absolutely getting worse. And yet still staying on point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm good at this stuff. I'm a debater. I'm a master debater.
You are.
I am.
Wow.
Yep.
I caught that.
I'm good at it.
It's so much.
But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. It's one of those things I saw and it just kind of irritated me. And I sat there and read through it last night, and I read through it again, some of the more comments this morning. It's like, this guy just doesn't get it. He refuses. Well, he refuses to lose an argument.
Yeah,
That he lost the moment somebody commented on that post. The first comment just threw out everything that he had.
Yeah.
And he had already lost right off the bat. And if he is a lawyer, I get it. He can't stand the idea of losing it.
Yep.
Which means
but
that he's
if
probably
he is a lawyer, he should have already known.
Right.
That
If
he lost.
If the dude is really a lawyer, based on what I saw, he should have known he already lost by the first comment. Just because the first person that said it was probably a bot had the win.
Yep.
And the worst part is though is he's trying to debate about a bot program that does moderation. But the problem's not that. The problem isn't the fact that it has the words gay and homo in its listing of bannable offenses. The problem that he should be more focused on is the fact that enough people in the world on the internet and in real life use gay, homo, faggot, whatever, all that stupid shit as a derogatory term.
Yeah.
But he's pissed that he lost, so he can't focus on that.
You know, that kind of like with me, you know, I hate the two words that I hate, I absolutely hate, you know, is retard and cripple.
Right.
And, you know, and I've never been violent, but I can tell you that the only time I've ever really wanted to be was when somebody where I worked one time had the audacity to point the two words directly at me, and I literally had to drop what I was doing literally out of my hands and walk away. Or else I'd already start calculating where things was
right.
gonna...
And you know what? I don't blame you for that. I mean, I've known you... We've known each other since we were 3.
Yeah.
You've always had cerebral palsy.
Yep.
But
as far as I know.
Right. But I've grown up with you for 27 years now. And I have watched you manage to overcome quite a great deal with that disability.
Mm-hmm.
So, the idea of somebody calling you a retard because of your ability, disability,
yeah.
or just a straight up cripple, even though you've come such a long way from how you used to be as a kid.
Oh yeah.
That kind of thing would piss me off too. I probably would have jumped the guy for you, because that's bullshit. You just don't do that. Now I can call you a gimp because I'm your friend.
Right.
It's no different than number 4 calling me a fat ass, and I point out his speech impediment.
Right.
So, because we're friends, we can do that. We know each other.
Shit.
We know that it's not actually anything personal. We just like fuck them with each other.
Yeah.
That's just how it rolls. because we rolled the punches too of like, oh, you're a fat ass. Yeah, I am.
So when do you do? That's.
I don't know. We made that joke last night.
I
I'm trying
know.
to figure it out when. One of our friends at Pathfinder is pregnant. She's
6 months pregnant.
No, I think it's more than that.
More?
She told me that she could have it as soon as sometime this next month, like next month.
Okay, because, like, I know my ex-fiancé told me that, because we had just found out that she was pregnant, you know, when my ex-fiancé had gone home for that week.
Right.
And then she texted me and was like, hey, Amy's pregnant. I'm like, wait, what?
But I can't wait. It's going to be cool.
I know.
Then we're going to start doing Pathfinder over their place because
Yep.
it'll be easier that way.
It will be.
Where we do, the couple's house that we do Pathfinder at right now, they have a 2-year-old, cute little kid. Annoying sometimes, but he's cute. He's a little butthead.
Yeah. He fits in.
So we usually game over at their place because it's just more, convenient for them, which is fine.
Right.
Because especially since they, moved a little bit closer earlier this year, so that works. Less troublesome trip, especially in the wintertime. But we're going to start doing it over at the other couple's house because they're going to be having a baby soon. So, but hey, it's cool. I'm happy for them.
And then when I get married and I have kids,
we're just going to forget about it.
They're just going to be like, no,
right.
you get...
See, we don't have to worry about that right now because you're in the same boat I am.
Yeah.
And we don't even have somebody that we're actually really interested in.
And, like, there's no nerdy geek chick out there that's like, I'm on Plenty of Fish. I'm on a couple other dating sites.
Let's just simplify this. There is nobody desperate enough.
I don't get it.
It is what it is. Okay, ta-da. Anyway, we have a little bit of time still after all my rambling and yours. Probably not much, actually.
Not much.
That last little bit took longer than I expected.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things I felt that was really important to bring up.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
It was a small, isolated incident, but it's just...
But still, it's a good idea to just kind of point that out.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I personally, I'll speak for myself here, I support whatever lifestyle that a person wants as long as it doesn't actually hurt somebody else. It's fine. So I don't support you wanting to go off and be a murderer. But hey, if you want a dick in your butt, that's fine. Enjoy. I prefer to put my dick in a vagina, but that's just me. So, but I'm not going to fault you for a little bit of dick butt. It's all good.
And me, I differ. I'm a Christian, and so I have other values, but I respect, the gay community and the lesbian community and all that. And
I really respect the lesbian community.
And yes,
that's
that's totally different.
Yeah.
But no, and I don't know. I say, you know what? If that is what you want to do, that's what you want to do. There's nothing that I can say that would change your mind. And, I mean, but if a person wants to talk about it and whatever with me, I'll talk.
Right.
Whatever, but, I don't know what good it would even really do, but I guess the point is, is that not the point, but the other thing I look at too is, and this may seem petty to some people, but to me not, but like the marriage thing, but I see it not just as a tax
right.
that can be done now on that relationship. That's the petty part, or what could seem to be petty. But what I also see though is that people who don't have anyone,
right.
And they go into a hospital, and they don't have any family. Well, like say for instance, say for whatever reason you never got married.
Right.
Right? And nobody...
Seems feasible.
Yeah. Anyway. but anyway, for whatever reason, you never got married.
Right.
You know, no family
Right.
to really speak for you. Well, you know, then who else would? Well, then I guess, you know, like Ted or I could.
Right.
You know, but the way the laws are set up though is that sorry, the way the laws are actually set up though is that it has to be a decision for life and death and surgery with that, like say you were unconscious or
Right.
whatever. The only way a decision can be made is by a family member.
Right.
So, you know, in some ways, I think that's more of the push from what I've understood from the research I've done. That's been the actual reason that a lot of the gay and lesbian community now are like, hey, we want to be married. You know, I know that there's more to it.
Yeah, I mean,
but that was the big argument that I've heard.
I don't
I
know
said,
if I agree with that.
okay.
I mean, for me, it seems like most of the gay and lesbian community want to get married because they want to be treated as equal. You know, it's like man and woman can get married. Why can't man and man get married, or woman and woman get married? Anything like that? They should be treated equal is probably what they see it as. And plus, you know, it's like, you know, a man and a woman that are really in love, they can get married. But you know, if you're a woman and woman that are in the same amount of love, you feel a little slighted if you can't get married. And I'm fine with it. I think it's a great thing, actually, because the way I look at it is, why can a man and woman get married and only to get divorced 5 years later when a gay or lesbian couple that, you know, absolutely love each other get married and stay married for the rest of their lives? You know, and that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if they want to get married and be unhappy like the rest of us, be my guest too. So, because, you know, gay and lesbian wedding or gay and lesbian marriages could last as long. It's probably not going to be. Excuse me. It's probably not going to be much more different than straight weddings and marriages and all that stuff. Is, you know, they're going to have their falling outs too, where they'll probably get a divorce. But it's just, you know, the way I see it is the best way I can see it with that kind of stuff is the way Family Guy explained it in one of their episodes of why is it that a straight couple can get married and live unhappily, and, you know, but a gay couple can't get married and actually be happy together. It's just how it is. And you know, and for straight people that get married, sometimes it's like, when it comes down to it in our society, it's a lot less frowned upon than it used to be to go ahead and you know, move in together, live together, bump uglies together, and have kids together before you're actually married. Sometimes it's just how it works out, and that's just how it's going to be. And it's a lot more easily accepted in this day and age than it used to be. So you know, that's kind of how it is. So, and I lost my point because I got distracted. Hold on, where was I going with this?
I don't know. I got distracted too. I'm sorry.
Sanctity of marriage.
Yes, there we are.
So, but a lot of the reason why people get married in the first place, you know, it's because they love one another, and it feels, getting married seems to be that final piece to the puzzle of their bond that, you know, takes it to that final level that they can go to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, there's straight couples that love each other that much. There's gay couples that love each other that much. I feel like it should be an equal right for everybody. Because, let's face it, the sanctity of marriage is not what it used to be either.
No, it's not.
It used to be heavily based around religion. You know, and being married was a way to be with this person that you love and not end up being together in sin or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we've thrown that out the door so heavily these days in our day and age now that it's essentially irrelevant. There's a lot of things that are relevant like that from old days, not just biblical or anything like that, but just things in general, you know,
right.
like old laws or whatever. It just happens.
I guess for me, I put it in a place in my mind because, you know, I read a lot of different scripture, you know, but one thing, you know, the Apostle Paul talks about, you know, if you're married to a person who's not a believer and you are, you actually have permission to leave them. If they choose not to become a Christian and you can't live with that.
Right.
Now, if you can live with that, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And that to me is the way I look at it. That's why I'm like, what, that is actually fine.
Yeah. When we're talking about religion, there's one other thing I want to bring up, because I also find it somewhat ironic, is that nobody actually complained about it, but the guy that made that initial post, I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about throwing something at the guy, pretty much, not physically, but
Anvil.
Right. No, that'd be nice. But no, it was when he used phrases like Jesus or oh my God, and I kept thinking, there's some people in this world that would rip you apart for being gay and using those phrases, and they would consider that offensive to them. So, but I really thought about just pulling the high and mighty Christian act on and thinking, where do you get off trying to say all this and then taking my Lord's name in vain, kind of thing. I didn't.
I would.
I didn't because honestly, I don't have the right to say that either. I say, oh my God, or Jesus Christ, or things like that. I try not to.
Right.
It just comes out.
No, I'm with you on that, but still.
But it's just one of those kind of things of like, this irony.
Yeah.
So it's like you're sitting here complaining about people and the way they use or don't like you using the word gay or homo or anything like that, but you sit here and yell out Jesus or oh my God or whatever, but it's like, but a hardcore crazy Christian would probably get up on you and be like, hey, look, you're gay, you shouldn't even believe in God, that's not your place, you don't need to say it. As far as I'm concerned though, I want to, this is why I bring it up, I wanted to bring up the point of like, I used to think that way too when I was younger. I used to watch the show Spin City with Michael J. Fox,
yeah.
And they had the gay black guy on there,
yeah.
And there was an episode where he and the mayor got into a car accident, and he started praying, the gay guy, he started praying, and at that time, because I spent most of my life or most of my years going to church, and I was brought up in a sense by the church to believe a certain way of views on things, and I actually at the time took that as quite offensive. I thought, wow, he shouldn't be saying that. That's not right. He's gay. He obviously doesn't believe in God. And then I caught on years later, like, that's not right. That's
right.
Not right. I mean, being gay can be considered a sin based on the Bible and things like that. But you know what? According to the Bible, we're all born sinners. So
yeah.
the
fuck,
fuck,
Well, and that's the way I look at it too. Like, okay. And another way, going off what you just said, is that a lot of people look at one sin worse than another. Right. God sees them all equally.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, you're homosexual, well, that's a sin. Oh, you're gonna lie, that's a sin too. Oh, guess what? Because of that, if
you murdered somebody, sin.
Yeah.
You took a cookie, sin.
It
is what it is, I mean, but I don't want us to go into too big a religious discussion because you have your views on it, I have my views on it, and it'd
be a long drawn out.
Very long drawn out. So
maybe some other time. Yeah. Maybe.
There is one news article that I definitely wanted you to get to. It's the stormtrooper one.
Oh yeah.
So because I thought that was a really good one too.
See if I can.
Stormtrooper.
No.
That's not it.
That's not it.
There. Oh, you missed it. There. No, you missed it. There.
There.
Yay.
Good lord.
I farted. Yay. Hold on. Does that say 9,000 miles? Is that how far he's trying to walk?
Oh.
I don't know.
Wait.
See?
Yep.
Is that how far he's trying to walk?
Yep.
Okay, tell them.
Okay. People, invisible people, Star Wars fanatics. This gentleman right here, I don't remember his name, but if I scroll to the top, I might be able to find him.
Scroll up, you talk, I read.
Okay. So anyway, this gentleman here, this gentleman
Lower.
right here,
Guy.
yeah, this gentleman right here has decided to raise money for charity.
Wait.
Actually, not just charity, but a children's hospital over in Australia, and he decided that the way he was gonna do it was he was gonna walk across Australia 9,000 miles and in stormtrooper gear. Yes, you've heard me correctly. Stormtrooper gear.
Mr. Scott Loxley.
What he said.
An Australian member of the 501st.
That's awesome. And he's raising $100,000 for this children's hospital. And I think that is just awesome.
By walking across the whole of Australia.
Yeah.
So he's going all the way around.
All the way around.
Scroll down a bit, please.
All the way around.
Which, according to this, is 15,000 kilometers, equaling up to, here in America words, 9,000 miles.
Yeah. So he's not just doing this. He's doing
all around.
All that.
Coastal region.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Which incidentally is everything around. But yeah, so it's like, let's see, it's for the Monash Children's Hospital. I gotta say, I honestly think that's awesome.
I do too.
Crazy.
Yes.
But awesome.
And
but awesome. So in other words, it's crazy awesome.
Yeah. Well, what was it? They're showing him, with the umbrella over his helmet,
Right.
They would show him, walking without a helmet, he had a cart, and with a sign on it and all that, and you'd see him walking around without the helmet. He'd still have the gear on.
Right.
But he wouldn't have gloves or whatever, but,
Right.
once he cooled off, he put it back on. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that is amazing.
That's gonna be hot,
I know. Well, I tell you what, I'd be the modder. I'd put me a freaking air conditioner in that thing.
Yeah. Well, I knew we had to at least talk about this one, at the very least, because I just really like that one. It's not just as a Star Wars fan, but, it's the idea of charity.
I like charity.
Yeah.
Him and I both.
And not the stripper.
No.
I mean, she's alright.
I mean,
but
yeah.
We don't actually know anybody, but if you do, let us know, just for the fun of it.
Or if you are.
Right. Then, so.
How you doing?
Kid. But yeah, so I just thought it'd be really cool to actually definitely make sure we mention this part.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I really appreciate this, it's like we want to be able to, with We Grow, eventually, help be able to do more charity work for the world over. There's a lot of charities out there. There's a lot of people that need help with things, and we want to be a part of helping that out. This kind of brings us back to the idea of the challenge for charity.
Yeah.
Stuff that we had talked about before, which we are still open to suggestions. We haven't gotten any yet, so if you guys want to give suggestions for challenges for charity, let us know, and
please.
That way we can start helping generate awareness for the different charities that exist.
Absolutely. So, comment below if you like it. Give us a like, subscribe.
Yeah, all that fun stuff.
All that fun junk. If you see it on our website, same difference.
Yep.
You can comment, like. Also, if you want to do a personal contact thing, just go into contact us and
tweet us.
Tweet us.
We're on
We're on Twitter.
We have a thing on Facebook, so
yep.
Look for us on there. Leave us a comment. Shoot us an idea for shoot us an idea for anything. Give us an idea for a challenge.
We like hearing from you guys.
Give us an idea for a skit that you might think would be funny. We'll see what we can do with it, maybe. Because we can only do so much. Our creativity is limited to a degree. Okay, mine's not, but his is. Yeah. So, but
You hear this guy?
I would hope so. If not, that means you plugged the microphone in wrong. I'm pretty sure.
Turn you off.
Right? Yeah, you already do that.
I hope so.
Right, me too. But yeah, so it's charity's always an important thing to me. You know, it's a good thing. You know, like growing up, I never had a lot of money. I couldn't get the fanciest of things. I didn't have all the newest toys or anything like that. So you know, being able to help charities, help children's hospitals, helping especially charities that go towards children.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm one of those people that, for some ungodly reason, still holds some hope in the future of humanity, and hope that the next few generations can fix what we fucked up. So, you know, it's either that or we're boned, man. But
yeah, well, you know, it's like just like local charities, like guy at my church. He gets a lot of stuff, you know, from one of the places in Bloomington, and yeah, Midwest Food Bank. Couldn't even think of the name for a minute. That's sad. But he'll load up with a bunch of stuff, and he'll take it all the way to the Appalachian Mountains.
Wow.
And you know, and distribute it, and you know, and I've been told, you know, by a lot of people just how poor the area is,
right,
and whatever. And there's some people there who have never even had a job in their life. Like they're not as educated,
right?
Mainly because they'd have to stop school to, you know, go work the fields to, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
You know.
That does happen.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, you just, I don't know, this day and age, you just think where there is an overabundance. I mean, it really is. It boggles my mind that the overabundance that we have, and how many poor people we have.
Yeah.
And like, even like, not just even poor, but I mean like people even living on the streets.
Right.
You know, that it just kind of really concerns me. You know, like what was it? There was a article I was reading about. Oh, who was it? He's a magician.
David Blaine. Chris Angel.
No.
One of the more famous ones.
Shoot.
Give us the baseline.
The guy actually took a sign from a homeless veteran or you know, veteran or whatever,
right,
and ripped it up and made money out of it and all that, and then made, I can't remember the guy's name to. That's really gonna bug me. But anyway, I read an article though where he had actually raised money for this family. I'm sorry, this is really gonna bug me.
Tell us what you can still, and then, you know, look afterwards.
Yeah, and I'll go and put up a thing in the comment or whatever. You know, it might be a thing over my head. I don't know.
Annotation, link dump, whatever.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so what the guy did was he took a I don't know what it really was. It was like donations,
right? Pretty much,
for this war vet, and who had served in a Desert Storm. He was in the Navy, and he I forget what it was, but he had been discharged, got a government job, and was out on medical.
Right.
but it was for injury that he had gotten while in the Navy.
Okay.
And the government let him go because of him being out on medical. There's a reason why it's called FMLA, but apparently our government doesn't follow the same rules that we're all supposed to. And so anyway, this guy took up donations for money, just cash on hand money for him. Well, it was cool how they did it too, because they wanted to hear the guy's story,
right,
and how they all got there, got to where they were and whatever.
Right.
And how they did it was they went in and said, "Hey, we're doing a documentary about war vets." Okay,
right.
And then at the end of everything, the guy goes, "Actually, the reason I'm here is because because we're trying to help veterans."
Right.
And I thought it was really cool because he's like, "I got this much money, just for you, whatever, and then took him outside, and I guess they had a bigger home, and everything was ruined by mold. And they had to just pitch it all, move into a different house. So they had nothing. So this guy had gotten donations for new everything. New bedding, new dressers, new beds, everything. And then, they took care of their house rent for a year, money for food for 6 months. I mean, this guy was only getting $1,600 a month, and that was to support him, his wife, and 2 kids. I mean, it looked like they were teenagers. I mean, kids ain't cheap anyway.
Yeah, especially teenagers.
Yeah. So, it's like...
Well, I'm glad that I got some help there.
Yeah, I am too. And it's stuff like that, that I go, yes, that is what we should be doing.
It's stuff like that actually does restore my faith in humanity, because I'm one of those people that looks at everything very cynical-like and realistic, and thinking that most of humanity is pretty much fucked in the head, like beyond recognition, it seems. So to find people that can occasionally go off and do those things and help people that much always makes me actually really happy. It causes emotions to well up inside, and I love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'd say I hate to cut it short, but we're not.
Yeah. We didn't.
I apologize for me rambling, for him getting up, me rambling, and him getting up.
Me getting
and me
up,
rambling, and then him getting up, and then him rambling, and me trying to fall asleep over here. It's been a long week.
I only worked 2 days this week, so I'm happy. It's Thanksgiving week,
which is great. Since let's see, Wednesday we were going to try to do Pathfinder, and then Saturday we were going to try to have a Thanksgiving get together with our friends. So that'll be cool.
That'll be fun.
That will be. Hopefully we get number 4 over there for it, so which would be nice. But yeah, we're gonna sit down and watch movies because our one of our female friends over there, she is horribly out of date on good movies.
Yes.
She has never seen The Princess Bride. I don't even think she still knows what it is.
And I go, what?
That was everybody's reaction, is what the fuck? Alright. But we've been telling her we need to all sit down and, have a movie day someday, and she'll have this coming Saturday off and all that because of the holidays. So we'll probably, I don't know how early we're going to start or how late we're going to stay or whatever, but we could probably get a few movies in with the time we spend there.
Absolutely.
So, because usually we spend roughly about 8 hours there anyway for past stuff. So, we can get through a few movies.
We're used to it.
I called it for sure. I was like, look, Princess Bride, first movie we're going to watch that
Absolutely.
day. We have to.
And then I heard somebody mention Ghostbusters.
Right.
I was like, yes.
So there's a few of them out there that we need to sit her down and have her watch because it's just a shame and blasphemous for her to have not seen some of those things.
And Money Pit. I'm like, how can you go through life and never seen Money Pit?
I'm more depressed that she's gone through life without, and as a nerd and hasn't seen like The Princess Bride. It's a good movie. I
am too. I'm like, really? You seem like the person who would enjoy this.
Right.
I know teenagers who have seen the movies that we've seen and are like, yes, those are good movies.
Now, granted, for me, my movie knowledge is a little bit more eccentric than, well, most people in my group of friends, because I'm also a person that does enjoy some of the old black and whites. Like, and not just like the classic monster movies, you know.
Right.
But, like, I know there's a great comedy movie that I've seen that I know nobody else in my group of friends has seen.
Which one?
It's called The Old Dark House.
Haven't seen it, but I have heard of it.
I enjoyed the 1950s version, and I also enjoyed the 1920s version. So yeah, it's a bit of an old movie.
You know what I think? What I want to try and find is some Charlie Chaplin.
I want some Bob Newhart.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I grew up spending a lot of time with my grandma, and she had a lot of the old movies on, like a lot of different old movies on VHS. You know, it's where I watched Star Wars for the first time. I watched plenty of John Wayne movies growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while a lot of kids were watching cartoons during the day, I was that kid that stayed up late to watch MASH and F Troop and I Love Lucy.
Yes, absolutely.
So I enjoy the old classics.
Because suicide is painless.
But yeah, I grew up to enjoy some of the old classics and things like that. So it was good stuff.
And if somebody actually gets that reference, you've seen that movie.
Yeah. So
you have not.
I don't know.
It's the theme song from MASH. The actual words.
Oh.
There was a movie before the show.
Oh no, yeah, I know. I've seen the movie. The movie wasn't as good, but
no, it wasn't. But I agree. Well,
by the way, I'm also that person that would choose the original War of the Worlds over the newer one. Even though the newer one was surprising, like with the Tom Cruise one,
I was kind of surprised.
I was impressed. They did a good job with it, but I'm still a fan of the classic.
Same here.
So, because it's a classic.
Well, what do you think about The Day the World Stood Still? New or classic?
I have never seen the new one. I don't remember if I've seen the old one or not. So I had to go back and watch them.
That is actually surprising.
As far as I don't remember if I've seen the old one, I might have. I'm pretty sure I probably have. But as far as the new one, I just never got around to it. So I knew it was a remake, but it's like I may watch it someday eventually.
Right.
But it's like
the only reason I ever seen the new one was because it was just on.
Right.
You know, and I was like, oh, FX, World of the Worlds, they made a remake with Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah, but as far as World of the Worlds go, when the new one came out, I actually went to see that in theaters with my brother in number 4, and I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Surprised. I'd love to see somebody remake the old Dark House, but I just don't think they could catch the classic comedy of it. So, anyway, we've gone on long enough. Really, seriously, we rambled a lot tonight.
Yes,
and
we did.
Poop, so.
And the funny thing is, I had other stuff to get to, but...
Yeah, we usually do, let me miss it. I did not mean to talk that long about Minecraft stuff, but once we got into the complexities of the mining community... Yeah. Once we got into the complexities of the mining community of Illinois.
And these guys have stuck with us long enough that, you know, they should know by now. So...
Yeah, so...
And if you're a newcomer, hi, welcome. We're long talkers.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Yes.
Where the voices in your head are us, and we never shut up. One of us vibrated. Anyway, with that, I think it's time to wrap up. And I've got to take a poop at some point. So, and I've got somewhere to be tonight. So, with that, I think it's time to wrap up. And I've got to take a poop at some point. So, and I've got somewhere to be tonight. 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 So, and I've got somewhere to be tonight We love you guys. Babies all around.
Thank you again for watching. You guys are good. Good to, well,
I hope your brains have melted as much as ours has over the years. And, yeah, we will... Well, you'll see us next time.
Yes.
So...
I don't know. Your brain's melted. Mine's just scrambled.
No, I'm pretty sure you're just coming to the point of turning to dust by this point. You've known me long enough.
No, not yet.
No, I have a tendency to do that, people. Trust me. Anyway, glad you guys could join us. Hope you guys can join us next time. We love you. Let's have your babies. You can have ours. And
yes. It'll be fun.
We'll do a baby trade. It's fine. It's not human trafficking if you don't do it in a car. That's possibly one of the worst things I could ever make a joke about, but fuck it, right?
I can't believe you said.
So, thanks again. We're going to leave you on that note. Love you, and good night.
Bye.
It just came to me.